All right. Well, now he's gone. You can.
Yeah. So you guys ready for a 3-hour-long panel? But
I can technically go on that long. It doesn't matter. I just will be like sleeping or something.
Yeah, don't worry. I am not going to do that to you guys.
That's fine. We did have a 3-hour something long podcast with you, so you're still the longest podcast episode.
I don't feel like working in any innuendos or entendres there, but cool. Well, thank you for having me. I was going to just show some of my work and then get to work on an original piece. All right, cool. So, well, first off, how you guys doing?
Good. Dylan's doing something. Dylan's actually been on most of the day today.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did 2 days like this, so.
Sorry, dude. All right, cool. So to start off with, this is my own original creation. Her first issue is out. I called her Breakneck because I love 90s misspellings. I took out the A or the C in the word neck because also it's easier to copyright. But if you want to get that on Drive-Thru Comics, that's great. And yep, here's a sample page, and I take a lot of inspiration mainly from Silver Age stuff. But that being said, I absolutely love Jack Kirby's like dynamicism. Please tell me you know what I'm trying to say.
Dang it! I know the word is it.
Yeah.
Dynamicism.
Okay, since 3 out of 3 aren't getting it, I assume that it's great. All right, and Freddie. Mark, not Freddie, a Jason piece. See, I'm tired too, guys. That I had a lot of fun working on. I did it for on my Erik on Paper channel, and because I like to draw nice, pretty things, Carnage.
Nice.
Yeah, I love to work traditionally. So this is a lot of Copic colored pencils and rage that went into this piece.
And Carnage.
Oh yeah, Carnage is just a byproduct from Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man and Black Cat. Here they didn't get into a serious fight. It's more like she's like, "Hey, I'm into you. I'm gonna mess around." He's like, "Come on, fight me." And here's a self-portrait that I really enjoyed doing. Yeah, or it could be the lizard, but he looks a little like Herb Trim's Godzilla in my opinion. But you know, they're a lot of fun. So, yeah, the way I start off with, you know, it's like I'm doing this on a larger scale, mainly because it's like, oh my god, okay, so what I planned on doing here, I was asking friends and people I know, oh, who should I draw? And you know, I got a lot of suggestions, but I wanted to do something outside my comfort zone. Of course, on a live broadcast, I think that, hey, let's take a risk, right? And excuse me, I did lose my trusty pencil because it is black on a gray surface. I'm a genius, but so the character I'm going to end up drawing, hopefully well enough for you guys that you'll be able to tell is She-Hulk, and I've got, you know, in my opinion, a pretty cool pose. She's going to be coming at you, having just like punched through a wall, ideally. Now, if it doesn't quite get that way, you know my intentions beforehand, so I can't pretend to say, oh, there are no mistakes in art. So hold me accountable because I like to do it myself. And I'm hoping I can take it to inks in the span of an hour. If not, you know, we'll see. Just give me one quick second. Okay. It's quicker than I thought. It was under my leg. I'm brilliant. Okay, so. Yeah, when I'm playing. So typically, what I like to do in drawing, and we could talk about whatever, but I figure since it's an artist alley, I better do some art and not shut up about fan topics.
Also, Greg, can you make his screen bigger than ours?
Oh yeah, I can. I think I can just make it solo.
To reference your prior discussion, make my monster grow.
There you go.
Oh dear God, you can see the mistakes magnified. Anyway. Okay, so in laying out the piece, one of the things, it's like, you can't really see, thank God, because it'll look like I'm drawing it freehand, but I've laid out some basic shapes, because that's all that drawing is laying on shapes, but I'm going to try to make it more exciting than just a straight pose. I've been taking these great online Cubert classes, and yeah, this instructor, or my last teacher, he keeps saying to me, if you want everything calm, keep it perfectly straight, tilt it on its axis. So, in tribute to him, I'm start roughing in the head. Okay, good, it is showing up on camera. And let's have it going down the center here. And I'm sure everyone in the comics world knows, like, okay, this is how you divide the head up. Like eyes, nose, mouth. I am breaking absolutely no new ground here, people. But the main point and what I really love about comic art is its emphasis on destroying the Z-axis and getting the third dimension in there. And jumping down to the fist and just kind of roughing in the shape. And yeah, I do draw really loose and sketchy. I don't really bother with the inks until, or like with a lot of details of my own pieces that I'm going to ink. But basically, it's like I've had enough people try to punch me to know that that's a fist coming at me. And let's see. Okay, yeah, I got it right. See, I did this, oh God, an embarrassing thing happened. I did an entire video and put the thumb on the wrong side. Every single person, like, hey, the thumb's on the wrong side. I'm like, yeah, by like the 30th comment, I figured that one out. So, but it did teach a lesson. Like occasionally people commenting on YouTube do know things. But yeah, now I do my best to check the hands. But yeah, having the fist coming at you and having it at a bit of a diagonal, and I put it right side, it just looks a little more exciting. And then what I want to do is follow this diagonal here. So obviously, yeah, it is going to be She-Hulk, so she's going to be really, really buffed. And I don't actually like the fists parallel, because who does that? Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Okay, so, and then a problem I really used to have in my art is letting the it's like I was afraid if I had overlapping shapes, it's like I wasn't showing off the work. It was like hiding things. But then when deadlines started to hit me, when I was doing more professional work, I'm like, you know what? I can see why like especially 90s comic artists would just really work super hard on, a really one standout panel, and the rest is like, okay, they're in silhouette now. That's artistic, right? Yeah. And yeah, just trying to, do shapes like you wouldn't see her neck from this angle, but it would be about here. And yeah, looking down, because she's like coming straight at you, so just I'm just saying I'm gonna BS a little bit of perspective here, but like if you here would be the top of her hip, then that, and we're gonna get the start of a leg here, but the rest of this, I'm just gonna have it be like, okay, here's gonna be a wall she's breaking through as a nice framing device, and then we're gonna have some rubble and chunks like that flying at us here. And so thanks for the panel, guys. I'm done. And all right, cool. So yeah, moving on. All right, so when it comes to detailing the face in particular, I'm sure by now, like any good drawing tutorial that you see will tell you about the eye rule, like the difference between two eyes is one eye. So I try to roughly adhere to that. I mean, counting for the fact that people have different shapes of eyes. Some people have a larger or smaller eye. Also, I'm drawing a little bit at an angle, so let's see. Yeah, her head's pretty big, so of course that's why I rough it in and don't immediately jump to inks. All right, now for finding the nose, I found this interesting kind of trick. Creating this diamond effect here is like, all right, here's roughly where her nose will be, but also now we've just found the corners of her mouth with that X, and I'm just going to, draw a happy smile because, of course, she is really thrilled that she has this tremendous... Now, she's here to kick ass. So, yeah. I also draw lightly and carry a rubber eraser. So now it's like, I'm glad the camera can't see me because I'm trying to talk and, make her angry face while talking. Like, I don't know if I know you guys are writers and creators. Do either of you draw?
I draw a little bit, but not for comics. Not yet, anyways.
Well, listen.
I can't. No.
Yeah. Well, there is no try. There is do or do not. Oh wait, Greg, you just canceled yourself out. But okay.
Yeah.
But
I just write. That's it.
Hey, without writers, comics would just be, well, I think comics would just be picture books, but well, it depends on the quality of writing too. But no, I've read some of your scripts. I think you're talented. All right, so yeah, now obviously it's like this body is looking a bit too big for this face. Not really an issue because that's why we draw lightly. Just toning it down. And I was doing research for this episode prior, or not episode, but for this prior to me signing on, and I really like the ones that show a more Hulkish She-Hulk than just, oh, we drew just a generic woman's figure and made her green. It's I see a lot of that, and I'm like, she needs to be hulked out. Granted she can control it more, but I'm not afraid of drawing a lot of muscle, on a figure, especially a woman's figure. Yeah. Okay. Now, so roughing it out, I like where it's starting to go. And one of the things also that I do like using as expression is hair. And for some reason, whenever I do art, there's a perpetual hurricane going on because I just don't like having hair down. It's always blowing in the wind, or something like that. Like I think I drew an interior and still had someone's hair flying around. And later on, I'm thinking, who turned on like the AC to full? Or to gale force, but yeah, let's just have her hair go nuts. Yeah, now for me the most okay, everything's tilting a bit here. So yeah. When correcting so when adding on to a drawing like a face, in my opinion the most important thing is the eyes. The cliche about being the windows to the soul. Well, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, mainly because I see a lot of really dull-looking eyes or just mentally vacant people, and they can't not have souls. I refuse to believe that. But okay, but yeah, to get that rage in there, I just think about the last couple people I've interacted with. So yeah, when you are really irritated, your eyes get really big because you're wanting to show ferocity, and kaboom, see ferocity. But actually, I don't really like to connect the lines completely of the eyes. There's something about it that I am 95% sure I am ripping off from Jim Lee. So Jim, if you somehow stumble upon this broadcast at this particular point, thanks. I have contributed to your wealth and fortune, so I think you kind of owe me at that point. Well, come on! It was the '90s. Everyone was buying his X-Men comics. Okay, maybe not everyone. I'm speaking for myself here. Did you guys? Were you into that?
I didn't. No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe Dylan did. Yeah.
No.
Wow. I feel like the nerdiest bunch of comic group. All right, yeah. Now that eyebrow is way too calm. Let's get it angrier. There we go. Now that looks like the last person I had to deal with.
She looks like she smells what the Rock is cooking.
Oh man, now I really want to have a fight between The Rock and She-Hulk. I mean, I know that because of superpowers, she would probably win in real life, but I don't know if it came down to a charisma contest. I honestly couldn't call that one. And yeah, also when drawing the female face or woman's face in general, it's like the less is more rule of rendering, which I personally, it's true, I can't stand because I love a ton of rendering and shading. It's like Bernie Wrightson is a huge influence of mine. Please, you guys know who that guy is, right?
No.
Oh, God. Okay, he co-created Swamp Thing amongst other people.
Oh, yeah,
oh wait, say that again then?
Isn't it Bernie Wrightson? Please tell me I'm not getting that one wrong, because then I'm an even faker fan than I thought. But yeah, he was incredibly gifted with the pen and quill. Okay, also in Rage, I draw the eyes a bit smaller. I don't know why it makes people look angrier, but it just does. If something's working, I really don't question it. Yeah, a little bit of the lip here. Basically, kind of a trick I use to figure out lip position, even though I just drew it in. Okay, I draw two circles underneath the nostrils, side by side. And here I am. Okay, that gives you the upper lip. This top part here, just circle. If this had been pen, it would have been hilarious because then I would have had to have gone around with this and tasted ink all night. But from that point, just draw the line between the two, connect them, and for teeth, let's see. They don't just end here, especially if you're like, okay, if you're drawing an angle and the character's like, you have to draw those back teeth in there. I know that's because I was kind of yelled at in an art class for not doing that. Well, okay, yelled at's a little bit too harsh, but it was more like, Eric, do you think people don't have back teeth? And I'm like, no, I know they have it. You don't have to do that. But yeah, it's kind of funny. The harsher teachers, the lessons always remain with you for some reason.
That's true.
I'm sorry if I brought up something traumatic. I can talk for 3 hours if you want.
You can totally do that.
Okay, slight indication of the lower lip. And giving her cheekbones because, well, people have them, and I draw them in. I don't know what to tell you. But, and yeah, as far as chins go, I'm going to give her a little bit more of a pointed chin. I just kind of happen to like the way that looks. And, yeah, she is looking pretty scary. So if anyone was hoping for, like, a sexy She-Hulk pinup, I'm sorry, I went full-on rage. This is kind of like my 2020 mood. So it's like I am in no mood to be like oh, how she's really like, oh, how pretty, how beautiful. Like, no, she's tearing down walls. Like, whoever she is looking at is toast. All right,
cool. Stealing some food from the kitchen.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where she is now, She-Hulk, in terms of like if she's on any team or anything like that. I don't actually read a lot of contemporary Marvel comics. I did read their Ultraman though, and was very disappointed in that, as I have said so on many Facebook forums. So I am sure that Marvel has, of course, like got my feedback and adjusted their course. And now I'm not just checking out here. I'm wanting to make sure I got her uniform right. She has this kind of like, okay, looks like most of the current reference I'm seeing, she's like in this like one-piece jumpsuity kind of thing.
Yeah, that's like purple or something.
Yeah, it's purple and it's got a white stripe. So we're going with that. Okay. So here we go. Just super rough. And yeah, see, they drew her looking, I don't know who this artist is, but like, see, to me, that's just like, it's a good drawing, but I'm thinking, yeah, she's kind of fit, but you can change the skin color. You wouldn't know that that's a Hulk, so yeah, I'm definitely all about if something is monstrous and buff, making it frightening as fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. Can we swear in this?
You can do anything, yeah. Not anything, but.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, yeah. I pretty much. I kind of sometimes I use profanity in the place of like punctuation. So
I do that too.
Thank God I knew I was glad coming here. All right, so now drawing breasts, for some reason a lot of dudes struggle with that, and it's at a bit of advice I got. Same instructor, he didn't yell this time. He was actually criticizing somebody else's piece, and it was one of those where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to quickly make this adjustment because I made the exact same mistake. But yeah, when placing breast on the figure, just figure out where like the middle of it, where the nipple is, and just go from there, expand out. So, and obviously, guys, don't be creepy. I'm just saying that right now. Yeah. And it looks like, okay, it's, athletic wear. So we're going to keep it, keeping it a bit classy. All right, cool. And yep, hilariously, when I started drawing, I forgot that people actually had ribs because early on, you know, when you're showing like your first amateur works and like, well, all my friends like it and I'm as good as the pros. So I go up to an artist, really nice guy, Blackie Shepherd. He works for Dynamite Comics. He does comics like he did Vampirella, Pumpkinhead, Voltron, you know, things like that. And again, super nice guy. But I said, "Hey, what do you think of this?" Looks at it and says, "Well, let me start with what's working." And I'm like, and at that point, I'm like, "Oh my God, something's working! I am so elated." But yeah, he overall he liked the idea. I shouldn't say loved that's, but because he was more like, okay, the idea is good. You know what you're doing with some coloring, but like you forgot the rib cage. And I'm like, he said you go from pectorals to abs with nothing in between. And looking at the drawing, I'm like, hey, I 100% did that, and I'm not going to fight you on it. But yeah, he looked at me, but then he was looking. He's like, well, you know, the last guy I gave a portfolio review to, apparently he threw his on the ground and teared up and laughed. And I was like, well, I didn't do that, so I'm counting that as an absolute win. But I think that's the thing that's important, you know, for I think creatives of all kinds, you know, like if someone says, hey, your comic sucks, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry to feel that way. But if someone says, hey, here's why this story or this drawing isn't working for me, and you know, if someone comes to you with a good point, I think you should really listen to it. Yeah, it's like I was thinking of doing a video about, you know, on my show about sometimes your haters have good advice, but I didn't want to open the floodgates for all my haters to come in with their advice. Because, yeah, I think, did I just make my own Trojan horse here? Okay, that thumb is looking really weird. And I have to punch myself in the face. Yeah, all right, screw that thumb. We hate that thumb. Okay, so.
Who even has thumbs?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, honestly, the next character that I design will not have thumbs or hands of any kind. Yeah, I think, and they're going to be the world's greatest soccer player, who also is. That's going to be their day job, and then they're going to be the first completely mutant armless hero. Actually, no, don't hold me to that, because I'm thinking I'm probably going to do it wrong and offend somebody. So, all right, cool. So now just refining that debris a little bit and making sure it's in the third perspective. Because, like, if you just draw, you know, that, I'm like, okay, here's some debris and here's a Dorito. But, you know, just give it some life, it just makes it pop a little bit more, at least in my opinion. I mean, you guys could be just saying, oh my God, how much longer?
That's fine. I have to go put food away in the fridge, but yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? My screen's the big one. I can't even see, so. And yeah, that leg is up way too high. So this is also why when people say, like, someone said, you know, why don't you do live broadcasts earlier? And I'm like, well, it's because I'm imagining anyone watching this screaming at me, saying like, are you effing serious? Yeah, that time I censored myself. Good job, Erik. All right, cool. So, yeah, just going in to refine the hand a little bit. I've always loved these Jack Kirby fists, you know? They're basically like, you know, just these solid geometric shapes that probably don't work in real life. You know, I mean, that's not how hands look, but they just look so formidable. Like, I don't Actually, I don't want to be hit by many people, but especially like a Kirby thing.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. So, adding that in there, yeah, it looks like a lot of this is going to be a rendering piece. Now, when it comes to a light source, it's, I learned it's best to keep it simple. Early art, I would just have like multiple sources, like I was lighting a movie scene or something like that. And that doesn't read that well in comics, especially like when it's just printed down.
Mhm.